Om Sri Sai Ram, Om Sri Sai Nadhaya Namaha, Om Sri Sai Parabrahmane Namaha. Today we will discuss the important aspects of Sri Saisatcharita, 39th chapter. In this chapter, Baba gave us very important teachings about Gnana Yoga. Of course, he described Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga on several occasions through Nana Chandorkar, but in this chapter, primarily focused on the Gnana part of it. As humans, we go through so many difficulties in our lifetime, and we have to follow Baba's teachings to overcome these things so that we can reach our goal, that is self-realization. Once Nana Chandorkar was sitting in Dwarkamai serving Baba by pressing his feet, and he was reciting Gita, Bhagavadgita to himself. He knew by heart this Bhagavadgita, and he did a PhD in Sankara Bhashya in Bhagavad-gita. So he is well renowned for his knowledge about this Bhagavad-gita. And he finished the 33rd verse and about to recite 34th verse. And then Baba lets him do that and then stops him there. And then asks him, "What are you muttering? Speak it out." Then he tells him that he was reciting Bhagavad Gita. And then Baba asks him to speak clearly and slowly. That time, Nana, with great humility and with folded hands, happily and in a sweet voice, gave his reply, explaining what he was reciting, and the main sloka that he was reciting was Tad Vidhi Pranipatena Pariprashnena Sevaya Upadekshanti Te Jnanam Gnanina Tattvadarsinaha. This was the main verse that he was reciting. When Baba asked him to explain, Nana really, with folded hands, great humility, he started explaining. Because a lot of people gave commentary on this. When Baba asked him to explain this, he said, making prostrations at the Guru's feet, giving one's life in the service of the Guru, and questioning the Guru respectfully, then those who have attained the real knowledge will give instruction of that knowledge. Baba accepted the meaning of the first 2 metric feet, but let us listen to what he said about the rest. Where you say that philosophers and those who have attained real knowledge will give instruction of that knowledge, if you use the word agyan, ignorance, instead of gnana there, what will happen? Jnana is not a subject matter of words. How can it be taught? Therefore, take the opposite word of jnana, then it can be experienced at every step. I have listened to the meaning that you have given using the word jnana. What do you lose by taking it as ajnana? Ajnana is a subject which can be discussed, whereas gnana transcends and beyond words, just as a cow envelopes the embryo, or dust covers the mirror, or ashes cover the embers, so does the ignorance cover knowledge. The Lord has said in the Gita that Jnana is wielded by Ajnana. Therefore, Ajnana is removed Gnana shines itself. Gnana shines with its own luster and is self-affected. It is like pure water covered with moss. The intelligent one who removes this moss will find the pure water. Similarly, Gnana is unobstructed. It is self-evident in its place. The power of the inner vision of the eyes is Gnana. The veil or the film over these eyes, and this will increase the Ajnana. This cover is the Ajnana, and it is very necessary to get rid of this. That veil or film should be removed with the skill of your hands, and the inner vision should be allowed to manifest, driving away the darkness of the ignorance. Jnana is something which has to be realized, not something that can be taught. So this was the beautiful explanation Baba gave about this sloka. Because even Lord Sri Krishna explains about this later on in the Bhagavadgita, how Ajnana needs to be removed. So Jnana is something that we cannot taught people. The only thing we can teach is removing the bad qualities, removing the Ajnana. That is the only thing a guru will do. So let us try to understand what Baba is teaching us here. To make prostrations, to question respectfully, and to serve the Guru are the only means for his grace. When we don't have these qualities and there is no faith there, the service that we perform is a mere lip service. Here, Nana's situation is similar. He has faith in Baba, but Sai wanted to burn his ego, which cannot be burned that easily. That's why this whole thing was played out by Baba. So let us see what is Gnana means. What is knowledge? Whatever we see is not real. Only Brahman, Paramatma is real. Yeah, we can learn about this, but experiencing this truth is real Gnana. First, we have to know that there is something like this. By understanding this, we can experience some kind of bliss. And then once we experience the real truth, then that Satchidananda, total bliss, becomes indescribable. The world we see is not real. What does that mean? It does not mean that it doesn't exist. Anything that exists at one time but disappears after some time is also can be called as unreal. If we take our universe, all the planets exist at one point, but they disappear in space. They go into black holes. Nothing is left. In a similar way, the human body started with a small cell and organizes into a huge conglomeration of cells. When the soul leaves the body, human body collapses. When we cremate the body, what is left, really? We can relate this kind of concept in our daily lives. When we do not tackle our daily problems with mature thinking, we will suffer. When we don't understand life or a particular object correctly, our outlook on that particular issue will be tainted. And if we want to live with someone, either your spouse or your family member or anybody, we have to understand them properly. We have to understand their patterns. We have to be practical in our thinking. Otherwise, it will be difficult to exist with them. If we can ignore our ego in certain situations, we will really enjoy our life. To lose our ego, we need lots and lots of devotion, that is bhakti. And that's why Baba really emphasized bhakti so much. A combined approach is essential. A learned person, that is gnani, can feel that he has the knowledge, but wherever there is devotion, ego disappears. We have to perform our daily actions, that is our karmas, with a devotional attitude along with a proper understanding, that is gnana. That is why this Bhagavad Gita verse demands that kind of respect. We can see why Baba chose that sloka And Baba taught fundamental principles of gnana so that we can achieve our goal as human beings. After listening to this discourse by Baba, Nana prostrates to Baba and requested him to direct him in the proper path. He begged for his mercy so that his ego could be burnt. Even we are sizzling with great sattva guna, great qualities, our mind will have some impurities, and we cannot tolerate if someone insults us. Our ego will throw us off balance. When we have our mindset on fame, name, greed, and all other ego boosting qualities, the peace is not going to be there. And not having this peace is also some kind of ajnana. What's miserable is to appear as a person of knowledge but cannot overcome the ego. And that's the difficult situation. Sometimes it's very difficult to recognize this. This is Maya. Sometimes when a guru or when you listen to satsang from a person, a guru, and you observe some kind of behavior that exhibited by that person or guru, then you tend to think negatively about that person and then forget about all the good qualities that that person taught you. That is a miserable situation. One should not be in that kind of situation. Even when you are close to that person, or even if you serve Guru, if you cannot follow what they taught, then it's kind of difficult to overcome the ego part of it. This is the Sai's way. Sai used to work in a mysterious way. How he accomplished any work without making any fuss about it. He never used to boast about what he did. The real reason was never disclosed, whether the work was small or big. The work was completed gradually, and there was no mention about it anywhere. That is the kind of thing that we all have to learn. Of course, we're going to fail sometimes, but we have to keep practicing that so that our ego is not boosted. Avatars like Baba manifest on this earth for the well-being of other people. When their desired mission is finished, they merge into that which is not perceptible. Reality of life, we don't know the root cause of our being, where we have come from and where we will go, why we were created, and what is the reason for our birth. We live a life as per our own will, or sometimes because of others. Then the time comes for death, and all the senses are unable to function. Even then, good thoughts do not come for some people. Even though we watch with our own eyes our parents, our forefathers, our loved ones dying in front of us, and the mind does not have any perception about this. The saints are not of this nature. They are very aware and have full knowledge of their end and know the time of their death. Till they are in body, they vary their bodies for their devotees and great love, and at the end, the place where the body is abandoned is utilized for the benefit of their devotees. Gnana is nothing but learning about these realities. We cannot wait until old age to learn these concepts. They are a waste because your body will not cooperate at that time. We need this knowledge throughout our life. We need to practice these things every day. We need to understand the realities of the life-death cycle. We think that we are asking for happiness all the time, but that is not entirely true. We need to understand the importance of the permanent bliss that is happiness forever. We need to understand what will cause sorrow and what will give us the real happiness. If we can put aside our ego, be selfless, and perform our actions with humility, devotion, and faith, we will definitely succeed in our endeavor. Baba always taught us to see God in every human being, every movable or immovable objects. Serving with humility takes us to new heights in this knowledge. So, Himmat Pant kind of concludes this chapter by talking about the construction of the Samadhi Mandir. We all know that Babu Sahib Bhuti was a rich man from Nagpur, and he used to come to Shirdi often with his family, and he used to stay there for a longer period of time when he comes there. He served Baba with utmost devotion. He stayed in Shirdi on and off and was very obedient to Sai. So what he felt was that he felt like buying a small plot of land and thought about building a vada there so that he can stay longer in Shirdi. One day he was sleeping in Dikshit Vada on the first floor and had a wonderful vision where Sai asked him to build a vada there. And then at the same time, Shama was also sleeping there. He had a similar vision, but Shama was very emotional and started weeping in his sleep, and Bhuti wakes him up. Then Shama tells him about his dream, and then Bhuti shares his dream with Shama, and both are really blessed with these dreams. And then they realize that because Baba was telling them the same thing, so then they come up with a plan, a blueprint of the Vada, and then they wanted it get approved by Sai to start the construction. Then when they go to Baba, Sama says, "O Lord, what is this unfathomable sport of yours? You do not even allow us to sleep undisturbed. You make us rave then also." Hearing this, Baba covered both his ears with his hands and said, "I've been here all the time, whatever else one may say." Then Sama supervised the work, Bhuti took care of the financial issues, and Baba, while going to Lendi, used to advise where the doors and windows need to be and how the gallery should be. So along with the Baba's advice, the Vada came along really well. Bhuti also got an inspiration that in the innermost space of the building, he could install the image of the Lord Muralidhar. And Baba approved this also, but he also said that we all live in that Vada happily. And we all know that later on, after Baba's Mahasamadhi, Baba chose that place for his Samadhi Mandir. So now that was a blessing for Sai Bhaktas, where Sai is our Muralidhar, and he keeps our Ajnana in check through the Samadhi Mandir and through his blessings, so that Jnana in us can be expressed by itself. So we can see in this chapter why Jnana was talked about and the Samadhi Mandir also. In the past satsang, we also discussed 3 Vadas. One is Sate Vada, which is kind of related to the Karma Yoga, and Dikshit Vada is a Bhakti Yoga, which is going into the Sadhana Sthiti and Jnana. And then once the Ajnana is removed, then the Bhuti Vada is expressed out, where Baba himself is there, Paramatma himself is there. So this is the inner meaning of this chapter, and we all remember this every day. We all have to make sure that we follow that our Ajnana needs to be unveiled all the time, and we have to remove the coverings of this Ajnana so that we can be peaceful in our lives and we can attain that Satchidananda Sthiti all the time and stay with it. Om Sri Sai Nadharpanamastu. Om Sri Sai Ram. Om Sri Sai Nathaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Parabrahmane Namaha. Om Sri Sachidananda Sadguru Sainath Maharaj Ki Jai.